I come from a very small town in Sangrur, in Punjab called Sangrur, from a normal middle class family. In our times, when we were growing up, in my parents' time, life used to be very simple and predictable. If you are good in maths, you go become an engineer. You're good in biology, you become a doctor. If you are coming from a business family, go take commerce and do BCom and maybe MBA later. Or if you want to pursue armed forces career, you can go and be in army. That's about it. After you got your education, you went and searched for a job, a private sector job or a government job, and life was very predictable. This is how your life will grow, how this promotions will happen. If you do great, you could be maybe a director. If you don't, you could be this, and after 30 years of life, you will retire, and so forth. But the life, I would say, was more like a test cricket, a 5-day affair, a long 5-day affair, very predictable, and not much so many changes. For me, when I went out of my engineering college, I joined Indian Air Force. I liked the part of it that it was very thrilling, but what part didn't like to me was that in military aviation, or any aviation for that matter, conformism to what has to be done is very solid. So somebody who wants to experiment, military aviation is not the right career. So I chose to say, okay, let me go out and do a job where I can do every day what I want to do. Maybe I want to do things differently. So since 97, I am in a telecom industry in India. I have seen all those journeys from a 2G to a 3G to a 4G and now very soon 5G. Really speaking, what I realize now, that what life was 30 years back to now, it has completely changed from a long 5-day test match to a T20 which gets over in 3 hours and you are ready to play again. It's full of twists and turns, it's full of unknown, but it is not so long that you really need to think of it, when will I get a second chance? It's like IPL, every day you play a match, you win, you lose, you do good, your team wins, you don't do good, team still wins, or you lose, you do good. It could be any different. You're able to bat better, you're able to ball better, using cricket as an analogy because this is what we all Indians are close to. But it's never the end. Next day there's another match, next day you get another chance to do what you are best at, to go and enjoy yourself. So really speaking, I think in this time, which is so variable that nothing you can relate to what 30 years back, me and my parents, their life used to be. So life now is really full of twists, turns, thrills, and unknown. During these journeys in my career, I have done many jobs, lived at many places in India, then even went to South Asia, lived in Malaysia and Indonesia, did technology leadership role, did business leadership role. But what kept constant is that this life around me kept changing and kept giving me options, and I always thought how to do better, how to enjoy. So during this journey, if I put together, there are 5 principles which help me do better. I wanted to share those with you today. First principle, I feel, to be able to do and enjoy what you want to do is knowledge. Now knowledge necessarily doesn't mean subject knowledge. In my subject, maybe it is knowledge of telecom. But in any other thing, in photography for that matter, the knowledge of using a camera, framing, using light, in case you are a singer, knowledge of the music, if you are a marketing person, knowledge of how the brand is done, how the product is sold, if you're a sales guy, how the sales happen. So the deep knowledge is very key. A superficial knowledge doesn't take you anywhere. The era around us now is the era of subject matter experts. It's not mediocres, don't cut eyes, really don't. So really, whatever you choose to, make sure that you have a deep knowledge of that and you keep building that knowledge. The second principle is practice and learn, which means the knowledge you have to practice to become better. If you're a batsman, you have knowledge how to bat, but the better way is you practice every day in nets. The success and the failure is decided at that time. How are you practicing? How are you preparing for it? How are you going to adapt whatever you have learned on the real life situation? The same thing happens around us in jobs, where the knowledge we use to convert to a business outcome. Or a teacher uses his or her knowledge to teach to us students. Or a photographer goes and films something and kind of uses that knowledge to create something for the viewers to view. So like this, so knowledge and practice come together to really make you better and better every day. The third part, which helped me thrive these situations, is agility. Agility is very, very key, and it's like a little underrated, you can say, skill, because there are two kinds of agilities: agility in mind, agility in action. It starts with mind. Are you agile? If things don't go the way you planned it to go in a business plan, in an exam, in a life, in a cricket match, then are you agile to say, okay, stand here, let me assess. Now the situation like this, how do I respond to that? Do I have the skills to respond to it? Or do I get somebody else with those skills to respond to it? But I'm agile, I know by just waiting for the situation to change, it may not change. So the best way is to act. But agility decides how long you decide to act, how long you wait before you act, or change your course. So I think this is very key. You must realize, I will stay agile, whatever happens around me, and I will adapt to what is available. The fourth principle which I want to share with you is courage. Well, you have knowledge, you have practice, you are agile, you know, I need to do this, but something in your heart stops you from doing what you think is right thing to do. That's where courage steps in. So courage to follow your heart, courage to follow your mind, courage to take tough decisions, courage to take risks is really key to success, because success is not material success. Success is happiness. Success is ability to get an outcome what you plan to or wanted to get. Courage is the real, you can say, one differentiator between successful and not so successful outcomes. So if you feel like that, go ahead and do it. Remember, life is not a test match any longer. Life is T20. Even if your courageous step leads to failure, doesn't matter. Tomorrow is another match, another day. And you can practice the same thing which you courageously failed this time. Maybe you will be successful next time. Maybe you will adapt. You will be agile. So be courageous in what you want to do. Don't think of society. Don't think of friends. Go and do what you really want to do. Because that is bringing me to my fifth principle, is enjoyment. Life is a journey, again a cliche, but the whole thing we go through our life is experiencing and immersing ourselves with what is around us. So can we really enjoy what we do? Do we wake up every day morning with a spring in our feet and saying, yeah, I want to go to office or to my job to enjoy? That's the key. If you're not enjoying, change your surroundings, change your job, change your skill, learn something new, what gives you enjoyment. I really feel that's very, very important. Because if you're not enjoying what you're doing, you are just going through this journey and soon the journey may end. So you will say, I never enjoyed. So my way here is, please enjoy what you do. Make sure you're really, really having fun on whatever you do. This brings me to the times we are living in. We are living in a time of a pandemic. We have changing scenarios around us. Suddenly, in the beginning of this year, we were all locked in our houses, not knowing what to do. Teachers not know how to teach. Students not knowing whether they will be taught. Similarly, businesses, how do they run? Life changed for me. Running a telco to keep our millions of customers connected, but with not ability to do the same way what we used to do, having people in the field, people in the knocks. So we had to adapt. So life may throw this twist and turn at you, which may be even more dramatic than a T20 match. So what do? You bring out your courage, you bring out your agility and saying, what do I need to do in this situation? What should I do which will give me even more enjoyment? If you look around you, new businesses have thriven. People have lost jobs, but there are other people who have done extremely well. because they thought, oh, this is an opportunity. I must do something about it and create something which people didn't think and may be very, very relevant. And businesses around us are now suddenly picking up success which was not there. And the businesses which did not move, thinking, I don't have a courage to change that much, things will change, pandemic will be over, life will be back to normal. My friend, it's not going to be normal. It's going to be new normal. So you better have the courage and make things happen. Bring out those innovative ideas, find new ways to do things, learn new skills, go out and do things which you never thought you would do. I know of some friends who were like wanting to take a break. Pandemic was the absolute right opportunity to take a sabbatical and do things which they wanted to do. Maybe go trekking, maybe go fishing, or learn a sport, learn a musical instrument, whatever gives you fun. So life is really a journey, and it's a twisty and turny journey, so you need to be ready for it. In my own life, I have a principle that life is a journey and you keep coming across Y folks. You have to choose, go left, go right. Not choosing is the wrong option. Choosing is the right option. Whichever direction you choose, you may take a well-treaded path or completely uncharted territory. Doesn't matter, because even if you are right or wrong, another bifolk is just around the corner, and that time you can course correct or go even more steeper into even more uncharted territory. The fun is you should be enjoying what you're doing, and you really should embrace this entropy around us, embrace this unbalance, embrace this chaos, embrace this unknown, and look, what can I do differently now that this situation has presented itself? You all will get chance to do things differently. I hope you really embrace things around you and do well, and most important, have fun. Good luck.